Back at the BMF show earlier this year, we featured the California Superbike School slide bike, and here it is in action. But just what is it supposed to do? I asked instructor Andy Ibbott to explain.
Andy, that was pretty impressive stuff out there, hanging that back end out, but it doesn't look that easy. I mean, how much is there to it?
Well, basically, it's something that we don't teach people until level 4, okay, because of the reasons of what it's designed to do. Is good throttle control. Okay, you may have noticed with me on there that when the back end stepped out, rather than snap the throttle closed, which is what most people do, I actually held it open.
Yeah.
Okay, now that keeps the slide going, or if you hold the throttle constantly, it just lets it run out of revs and pull back in nicely on its own. The purpose of the bike is so that you and I, if we go out on the road and we lose the back end, rather than chopping the throttle closed, which will ultimately result in a high side.
Which is the natural instinct.
Absolutely the natural instinct. We try and train people just to keep it open.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Oh, that's the theory behind it. I will say that it does take a lot of confidence to hang it out.
Andy, on your slide bike, you got these outriggers with sort of shock absorbers on it. What's all that about? What's it actually doing? Stopping you falling off, or?
Okay, well the slide bike, as we call it, the slide machine, serves two purposes. On level 2, which is what you see going on behind us, it helps to enable people to have a little bit more confidence about lean angle. If I'm completely honest, it doesn't take your entire weight, and it's not designed to do so because it wouldn't then feel like a real motorcycle.
Right.
Okay, and then level 4, which you may see later, we teach people very good throttle control. What JC in the background here is trying to achieve is he's trying to get two things. One, the person's looking into the turn that he's creating so he can see where he wants to go, and 2, that he's not putting any pressure on the inside handlebar.
Right.
Putting pressure on the inside handlebar makes the bike run wide.
Yeah.
So we're trying to alleviate that problem.
Right. And I can see that it is this looking ahead business. That's the important thing, isn't it? Don't look where you're going, or look where you're ultimately going. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a great thing to say about you go where you look. That's
Yeah.
fine to a point, but if you can start working ahead of that and predicting where you want to be, seeing where you want to be rather than where you are at now, that makes all the difference. But to be perfectly honest, the big difference between a world champion and somebody who runs on the back is what they're doing with their eyes, how they're processing that visual information. And this is just one of the things that we teach at the school.
Right, so it doesn't stop you dropping it then?
No, we do try and tell people that it's not uncrashable. You know, we had one person who turned up with Keith Code in August, who rode the bike along, went from first to second, and then tipped the bike in at less than walking pace, and somewhat surprisingly, it fell over. And I believe Keith's quote is, "My goodness, I'm never amazed by the amount of faith people have in technology."
Wow, now watching Andy doing that, it's really impressive. It's really Hargersand stuff, getting that backhand stepping out. Now, I fancied a little crack at this myself, but I'm not so sure. I think this is really an acquired art. I think I'll leave it to the expert.